Anticipating's plane landing time, I couldn't wait to call him. Marcus, you're finally back. I've missed you terribly. The person on the other end didn't pick up on my enthusiasm. After a cold hello, he briefly fell silent. Hello, can you hear me? Grace, I just got off the plane and coincidentally ran into Luna. I'm going to drop Luna off first. Luna was Marcus's ex-girlfriend from college, whom he dated for 4 years. They were forced to break up when Luna had to go abroad. Grace, don't get the wrong idea, it's purely a matter of convenience. I grabbed my coat, abandoned the welcome dinner I had spent the entire day preparing for Marcus, and drove away. Marcus sent me a message in the early morning. Grace, I'm home. Where are you? You're not angry, are you? Oh, don't get the wrong idea, I just made a detour to a law firm and had a lawyer draft divorce papers. Marcus has a delicate stomach. He travels internationally for work year-round, but he's not used to Western food. Every time he came back, I would always go shopping for groceries a day in advance, and then get up early to prepare and cook meals at home, so that he could have a hot meal as soon as he got home. I didn't have time to pick him up myself, even though after 2 weeks apart, I've really missed him terribly. I would set an alarm based on his arrival time, wanting to hear his voice the moment he got off the plane. The moment the alarm rang, I would immediately drop what I was doing and call him relentlessly, dialing until it connected. Each time, he would playfully tease me with affection, calling me his little koala. This time, I did the same, but after dialing for over 10 minutes, even when it finally connected, he didn't answer my call immediately. I thought something might have delayed him getting off the plane, my mind filled with uncontrollable worry for him. Marcus often gets airsick. Had he fainted at the airport? Or in the bathroom? No one would find him. At first glance, my hand gripping the phone was slick with nervous sweat. When the call finally went through, the other party's clear, cheerful hello meant he was okay. Immediately, just like always, I blurted out, Marcus, you're finally back. I've missed you terribly. Mwah. After I finished speaking, the other end didn't respond to my enthusiasm as usual. Instead of, yes, I'm back. I'm dying for your cooking, I'm rushing home as fast as I can now. My sweet little chef, wait for me. There was an awkward silence. I thought it was due to bad signal, and he couldn't hear me clearly. Hello, Marcus, can you hear me? But I could clearly hear the noisy airport background sounds behind Marcus. Hello? Marcus, if it's inconvenient, just go home first. I can take a taxi. Suddenly, a woman's voice came through, a voice I knew all too well. Marcus then stammered, Grace, I just got off the plane and coincidentally ran into Luna. Taxis are hard to get at the airport, so I'm dropping Luna off first. Before I could react, the call was hung up. This was the first time Marcus had ever hung up on me, and it was for his idealized first love, the ex-girlfriend he dated intensely for 4 years in college, whom he was forced to break up with. I untied my apron and threw it directly onto the table of food. Then, with one hand, I inverted the trash can containing food scraps and placed it over the dishes. I never thought the drama of a husband entangled with his ex would so dramatically play out in my own life. Forget it, consider it dog food. No sooner had I spoken than Marcus, thoughtfully, added fuel to my fire. Grace, don't get the wrong idea, it's purely a matter of convenience. Will you wait for me at home? I brought you a gift, you can really look forward to it. Don't overthink it, my thing with Luna is long over. We're just strangers now. Initially, I wanted to block him, but I was genuinely too angry. Strangers? The airport is full of strangers, and taxis are hard to get. Sin. See, you're being such a good Samaritan. See a good deed through to the end. Remember to drop off Luna and then take them all home, one by one. Marcus sent me a voice message, his tone filled with impatience. Grace, can you act more mature? Stop throwing these childish tantrums. I even spent money buying you a gift, and you're still being so unreasonable. I then remembered Marcus's persistent attempts to win me over back then. I asked him what he liked about me, and he said I always pouted, like a mischievous child, and was especially cute when I got angry. I felt bad for him working so hard, so after he first bought me a ridiculously expensive luxury handbag, I declined it, telling him not to buy such pricey gifts anymore. I explained that it was the thought that counted, and while I appreciated gifts, they didn't need to be so extravagant every time. He used his large, warm hand, gently stroking my head, and repeatedly kissed my forehead, telling me, of course I have to buy you gifts. I work so hard to make money because I want to give you the best of everything. I never imagined that Luna's appearance would make him instantly forget all his promises to me and then, with great interest, turn the tables on me. I immediately went to the nearest law firm, grabbed the first lawyer I encountered at the entrance, and asked him to draft divorce papers for me. After finishing that, I turned the steering wheel and drove to my parents' house. My parents knew it was Marcus's day to come home, and with my furious expression, they couldn't help but worry if something had happened between us. I didn't want them to worry. If they knew Marcus was entangled with his ex, they would be so angry they would disown him. I just told them Marcus still had work to finish, and his business trip had been extended, so he hadn't come home at the scheduled time. I had been so tired these past 2 days from all the work, that once I got home, I was incredibly sleepy and quickly fell asleep. I woke up in the early morning to drink some water, and before I had even swallowed it completely, I saw a message from Marcus. Grace, I'm home. Where are you? You're not really mad at me, are you? His plane landed in the afternoon, and knowing his girlfriend was angry, he still stayed at his ex-girlfriend's house until almost dawn. A man and a woman alone in a room, and he still dared to question my rightful attitude towards him? It's true that whether a man loves you or not shouldn't be judged by his best side, but by the worst way he treats you. I replied to him faintly, oh, don't get the wrong idea, I just made a detour to a law firm and had a lawyer draft divorce papers for me. Normally, by this time, Marcus and I would be lying on our comfortable little bed. Every time Marcus returned, he would tell me about his travels, and I would always listen with great interest. But now, the door stood neglected, accompanied only by the lonely air and the desolate night. The next day, Marcus arrived with gifts from abroad for Henry and Margaret. Henry and Margaret didn't know the real reason for my return, assuming I was just throwing one of my usual childish tantrums, so their attitude towards Marcus was unchanged. Marcus had always been good at getting along with elders, a few words from him usually could delight my parents. Henry and Margaret hadn't seen Marcus in a while either, so their attitude towards him was rather warm and enthusiastic. Over dinner, he uncharacteristically drank a lot of wine with Henry. Getting up to go to the bathroom, he stumbled, almost falling by the door. After he sobered up a bit, I drove him home. Shortly after we got home, his phone rang. The number wasn't saved, and fearing it was his boss calling with something urgent, I answered it for him. Hello, Marcus? A saccharine female voice made my heart sink. Hello, can you hear me, Marcus? Are you Luna? Who is this? Oh, you must be Marcus's secretary. Can you tell Marcus that his shirt got wine on it and was left at my place? I've already washed it. I'll be home for a while, so if he has time, he can come pick it up himself. If he's busy with work and doesn't have time, he can send me the company address, and I can drop it off for him. I gritted my teeth, about to unleash a torrent of curses, but to my surprise, the other party hung up after speaking, giving me no chance to justify myself. So, that night, he didn't just linger at her house for a long time, the two of them even drank wine and flirted. How could I possibly tolerate this? I kicked him out of the master bedroom doorway, then slammed the door shut, leaving him to fend for himself outside. Sleepless all night, I woke up quite early the next day. After breakfast, I sat on the sofa watching TV. He heard the sound, and rubbing the back of his head, emerged from the guest bedroom door. Grace, make me some hangover tea. I ignored him. Grace, why didn't you cook breakfast today? You know, I have a delicate stomach. There's leftover dog food from Buddy in the dog bed, you can manage a few bites. What kind of talk is that? That's human talk. Dogs eat dog food. A delicate stomach, and you're still drinking wine like others? Aren't you afraid of dying in front of someone else? Marcus suddenly snapped back to reality. Did you go see Luna? Luna came back to the country alone, with no family or friends here, all alone. Don't you dare bully her. I've already said, she and I are just ordinary friends. Marcus, I really underestimated you. You're making quick progress with her. Yesterday you were strangers, and today you're just ordinary friends? If you're so worried about her, then don't let her hand wash your shirt. You don't even have the decency to be gentle with women, and you still want to chase after your idealized first love? I was no delicate flower putting on a sweet, innocent act. Since had so brazenly declared war on me, before I divorced Marcus, I would do whatever it took to turn that despicable pair's lives upside down. If they wouldn't let me live in peace, I'd make their lives hell. No sooner had Marcus left for work than I contacted my best friend, Sage. Sage had started a company abroad years ago, which initially suffered continuous losses. A few years ago, she managed to recruit a powerful individual from a rival company, and her company suddenly turned profitable. She had always said she felt lonely abroad, and wanted me to join her there, nesting together as a pair. However, at the time, I was blinded by love, uninterested in being a strong, independent woman with her. She would chide me for prioritizing a romantic partner over friends, but then, on my wedding day, she gave me a luxury car, saying that a woman must always hold the steering wheel in her own hands, so she could decide where to go. Just a few days ago, Marcus was my strongest pillar of support, but now, that great mountain had crumbled down a 1,000-meter cliff, shattering into pieces in an instant. Knowing men couldn't be relied upon, I turned to rely on women instead. I called Sage, and she was ecstatic, immediately preparing a room for me in her house abroad. Because I didn't want to go back home alone to stare at four walls, I went out drinking with a few friends, completely letting loose. After I got together with Marcus, I hadn't gone out drinking much, because he hated women being drunk and smelling of alcohol. He didn't like wild girlfriends, so over the years, to accommodate him, I even changed my violent temper, gradually becoming the gentle, refined lady he wanted, and in my friends' eyes, the virtuous wife and loving mother my friends strongly scorned. Fortunately, my friends were all loyal and principled. They promised that if I turned over a new leaf, they would still be willing to hang out with me. I drank with them all night. Midway through, Marcus called me, asking where I was. I immediately video called him. The flashy lights, creating a flashy, extravagant party scene, illuminated his face in a garish glow. Finally, his face darkened, and he just left one sentence, "Come home early," then hung up. Curious, I checked the security cameras at home. Marcus had left shortly after that. Years ago, even though he didn't like my behavior, I couldn't instantly change my bad habit of going out and having fun with friends. I would always sneak out to play when he was asleep or working late, anytime he couldn't talk to me. For some reason, he always managed to find me, catching me like a little rabbit caught by a hunter. Whenever I drank, he would immediately drop whatever he was doing and come pick me up. Watching him leave, my heart trembled. Dead memories once again attacked my heart, making me wonder if he was following protocol, just like in the past, out of worry for me, still coming to pick me up immediately. Did his heart still hold me? Was his place in his heart still incomparable to mine, his cherished wife, with whom he had spent so many years? I stood frozen, and a friend nudged my waist. Only then did I snap back to reality, realizing I shouldn't continue to hold out hope for someone who was being so ambiguous with his idealized first love. Even if he came to pick me up, I wouldn't forgive him. I continued to pour wine down my throat, wanting to wash away these jumbled thoughts, but my gaze remained fixed on the bar's entrance, uncontrollably imagining what pose Marcus would strike when he appeared before me. It wasn't until I was in the car on the way home that I saw a social media post from Ethan, Marcus's best friend. The photo clearly showed Marcus and his group having dinner, and sitting next to him was not a man, nor an unfamiliar woman, but Luna, his idealized first love, who had passive-aggressively implied I was Marcus's secretary. "Grace, why are you back looking like this? Do you even know how you look right now, like a madwoman?" Marcus, with one hand supporting He knows bridge of his gold-rimmed glasses, looked at me with a disgusted expression. Such a look was a first in front of me. "This is me, the me you loved for 3 years. This is how I've always been. Open your blind eyes and see clearly, this is the Grace that you, Marcus, loved." My eyes were fixated on the white shirt under his suit, unable to look away. Faint wine stains still lingered on that shirt, clearly the one Luna had washed for him. Before this, he wasn't like this. He said he hated me drinking because it was bad for my health. No matter how much he disliked it, after I got drunk, he would affectionately scold me as my little tipsy kitten, while repeatedly wiping my body with a hot towel. When I drank too much, I would also talk a lot, liking to lie in his arms and just babble to him. No matter how outrageous my words were, he would patiently respond. Sometimes, when I was excessively drunk, I would bother him all night. Even after being tormented by me all night, he would still go to work despite his exhaustion, never complaining. He would let me use his arm as a pillow, and even if the smell of alcohol made him sneeze frequently, he wouldn't leave me to sleep alone, not until I woke up. Only then would he gently pull away the arm I had numbed. It was because of this that I didn't want Marcus to suffer like that anymore, which is why I completely quit drinking, willingly becoming a well-behaved young wife by his side. However deeply I had once felt Marcus's love, the knife now pulled from my body would lacerate my insides so horribly that it would be unbearable to look at. In a fit of anger, I opened the door and ran out. Outside, rain was pattering down. Marcus rushed out the door immediately, but the umbrella he held was completely covering his own head. His hunter-like hawk eyes completely overlooked me. He strode quickly into Ethan's black Maybach, which was parked by the roadside. I could even see the reluctance in Ethan's eyes. He frowned, looking at me, his body leaning towards me, his hands seemingly ready to pull out of his pockets and reach for me the next second. Marcus, your wife. Never mind her for now. Luna's matter can't be delayed. Drive now. I laughed hysterically in the rain. The last remaining shred of love was cut off by a torrent of tears. It's Luna again. Luna is truly his real love, and I'm just a pet he keeps caged. What did all these years of love even amount to? Marcus pushed open the door late at night. I stared at the continuous streams of water sliding down the window pane. He staggered into the master bedroom. I thought he wouldn't come back tonight, so I hadn't locked the door. He took off his coat, and his whole body collapsed onto the bed. He instinctively wrapped his arms around my waist, but I gently moved his hand away. You've been drinking? Luna was feeling down today, so I just had a couple of drinks with her. Marcus hated the smell of alcohol. Apart from unavoidable business dinners, he basically never touched a drop. Now, he was repeatedly breaking his own rule for Luna. Even a blind man could see where his affections lay. I pushed him out of the master bedroom. Grace, am I being too lenient with you? Can you stop making a scene? I work hard all day, and when I come home at night, I have to put up with your moods. I already told you Luna and I are just ordinary friends. Don't I even have the right to catch up with a friend? Do you even treat me like a person? Yes. That's more like it. He then rested his hand on my shoulder. You're free now. Then, I coldly spoke those words, let's get a divorce, Marcus. Grace, have you had enough of this drama? Do you think I'll compromise if you threaten me with divorce? I'm not threatening you, I'm serious. It doesn't matter if you believe me or not. Tomorrow, right now, we can go wait for the courthouse to open. Marcus took a call. 0669, I remembered that phone number's last 4 digits. The caller was Luna. He moved to the side, turning his head towards the floor-to-ceiling window, obscuring his face. Wait for me, I'll be right there, don't panic. I'm going out for a bit. I know you're emotional right now, so calm down at home. You're the one who needs to calm down, not me. I didn't know what he was going to do. I only knew that the person he was abandoning me to see must be Luna. He was now even taking Luna's calls right here in the same room as me. When my heart was completely broken, I wanted to cry hysterically, but not even a single tear would come. This house belonged to Marcus. I called Sage to confirm my trip abroad, intending to clear out all my belongings from this home. Amidst her excitement, Sage also detected the despair in my words. Grace, have you really thought this through? If you haven't decided, I have decided. Marcus isn't my fated partner, as Henry and Margaret believed. Leaving is the right choice. From today on, I don't want him anymore. He's tainted. Since I brought up divorce, Marcus hadn't come home for several days in a row. This was a situation that had never happened before. Even if he entertained clients until 5 in the morning, he would still come home first. This was a request he had agreed to on our wedding day, and he had indeed fulfilled his promise after marriage. Sage called me, urging me to quickly end this relationship. Her company abroad had encountered an opportunity for expansion, and during this time, everyone in the company was working day and night, struggling to keep up. Here in China, neglected by Marcus, and unable to go home and complain childishly to Henry and Margaret, matters of the heart were a heavy burden that even my own parents, who brought me into this world and raised me, couldn't lift. At this point, going abroad, and staying as far away as possible from this hotbed of trouble involving Marcus and Luna, to keep out of sight, out of mind, was the best option. After weighing my options, I decided to actively seek out the missing Marcus. I contacted Marcus's secretary. After confirming he was at the company, I took the divorce papers drafted by the lawyer and went to his office. Everyone at Marcus's company knew I was Mrs. Marcus. The receptionist didn't ask if I had an appointment. Instead, she directly told me that Marcus had recently been promoted and moved to a larger office. She had offered to show me the way, but I said I would find it myself. After all, I was there to divorce Marcus. It wasn't something to be proud of, nor was there any need to alarm his colleagues. I just thought the receptionist's gaze was very strange, and she looked like she wanted to say something but held back. It wasn't until I pushed open the door to Marcus's office and saw Luna sitting on the sofa next to his desk, legs crossed and playing on her phone, that I understood the profound meaning in the receptionist's eyes. Grace? What are you doing here? What, his rightful wife, can't come, but a mistress can? Grace, don't talk nonsense. This isn't what it looks like. Then what is it? Luna has some business dealings with our company recently, we're just talking about work. Alright, I get it. Just sign the papers, and even if you're lying here talking business with her, it will have nothing to do with me. When saw that I was handing him divorce papers, his face turned pale with shock. Grace, are you serious? Luna crossed her arms over her chest. You're too petty. You're going to divorce Marcus over this? Marcus just said he was only talking business with me. I advise you to think carefully. Marcus is such a good catch. After you divorce him, plenty of beautiful women will be lining up. Don't regret it then. Luna. Marcus's unfriendly tone startled Luna. This is between Grace and me. Please leave. Luna pushed the door open indignantly and left. Grace, is there some misunderstanding between us? There's no misunderstanding. Then why are you divorcing me? I told you, Luna and I have nothing going on. I don't love you anymore. Is that reason enough? Please sign these divorce papers quickly. After this, whoever you choose to have a relationship with will be of no concern to me. It's better for all three of us this way. Marcus tore the divorce papers into shreds. Grace, we promised to grow old together, didn't we? I won't divorce you. Never in this lifetime. Marcus's eyes were red-rimmed. It had been a long time since I'd seen him so sad because of me. His sudden sadness made me feel a bit unaccustomed to it. I once told you that if I ever brought up divorce, there would be no turning back for our relationship. Grace, can we not talk about this right now? Tonight is Henry's birthday dinner. I'm leaving work now. I'll drive us there together. Before I could wave him off in refusal, Marcus's secretary rushed in. Seeing an outsider, she exchanged a glance with Marcus. Marcus beckoned her aside, and she whispered a few words into his ear. We weren't standing far apart, and though I couldn't hear exactly what she was saying, I distinctly heard that sensitive name. I could have seized the opportunity to leave when Marcus's secretary came in, but I remembered that I hadn't yet told Henry and Margaret about the changes between Marcus and me. Today was Henry's birthday dinner, and if Marcus didn't show up, he would definitely become suspicious. He liked Marcus so much. I didn't want to upset him on his birthday dinner, so when Marcus said he wanted to go together, I was actually willing. After hearing the information from his secretary, Marcus's brows were furrowed with doubt. I could see his dilemma. Does it have to do with Luna? Let her do what she wants. It's not the first time, nor will it be the last. He clearly wasn't explaining himself to me but muttering to himself. You go find Luna. I still made the choice for him because I no longer cared about this person. His face was etched with worry. He held my hand. I let him hold it, my face devoid of any emotion, which seemed to give him a sense of reassurance. Grace, I have something urgent to handle right now. Don't worry, I will definitely make it to Henry's birthday dinner tonight. With that, he hurriedly followed his secretary, jogging out. At the birthday dinner, Henry and Margaret, upon learning that Marcus hadn't come, didn't seem particularly surprised, for some reason. However, their calm expressions didn't quite match their actions. Henry kept glancing at the door, and Margaret kept looking at Henry. I felt that Henry and Margaret had sensed something during this time. As a result, Henry and Margaret were not in the mood to entertain guests. Marcus never showed up, right until the end of the banquet. Henry sighed in front of me. Some time ago, an unknown contact on social media had added me. I thought it was a colleague recommended by Sage, so I accepted the request. After connecting, the other party never spoke. Today, bored, I scrolled through my social media feed, and coincidentally saw this contact post an update. The caption read, "May all lovers in the world find their happy ending." Before I even looked at the full-sized photo, I saw that the social media profile picture was so familiar. Clicking on the larger image, it turned out to be a back-view photo of Luna and Marcus. I went back and looked closely at the picture in the social media post. It was on a rooftop. No one was more familiar with this rooftop than I was. Marcus often took me up there to enjoy the view when we first started dating. The photo also showed the time, which was exactly when Henry's birthday dinner had just begun. In the photo, Luna was holding Marcus's waist, and both of them were looking up at a dazzling display of fireworks that had just been set off. So, his absence from the birthday dinner was because he was out setting off fireworks with Luna. To my knowledge, fireworks are still prohibited in this city. To catch a glimpse of a beauty's smile, he took such a huge risk. I wanted to say, this was Marcus's style of wooing her. Not having thought about how to face Henry and Margaret's interrogation, I lied about having plans with friends at the end of the banquet, and still chose to return to Marcus's house. After all, he probably wouldn't be coming home tonight, and I needed to go back and pack my belongings anyway. It was best if he wasn't home, otherwise, facing each other would be even more awkward. Just as I reached the neighborhood entrance, a blinding beam of light assaulted my eyes. I instinctively covered my eyes, and only when the car drove up to me did I see that it was Marcus's car. He opened the car door, then the trunk, and came towards me, carrying several boxes of gifts. "Grace, I'm sorry, something came up and I'm late. These are some small tokens of my appreciation for Henry." "No need, the banquet is already over." I walked past him, heading out to the main street, wanting to see if I could hail a taxi. He shifted all the gifts from his right hand to his left, holding them with one hand. "Grace, are you angry? I told you I'm not." I quickly cut him off. "Let's go home." He pulled my hand, but I shook his hand off. "Where are you going? Let me drive you." "Give me a chance to apologize. It's late, and it's not safe for you to take a taxi alone." "I can't rest easy. Marcus, we're getting a divorce. You don't need to act like this towards me anymore, it makes me sick." A taxi drove towards me, and I desperately extended my hand to hail it. Once I was in the car, I glanced in the rearview mirror and saw Marcus anxiously pulling open his car door. We arrived home almost at the same time. Because I didn't want any further entanglement with him, I immediately grabbed some clothes and went into the bathroom. Halfway through my shower, Marcus suddenly pounded on the bathroom door. "Grace! Grace, open the door." I didn't want to respond to Marcus, so I just turned the what? Up to full blast, hoping to drown out his voice with the sound of the water. But he became even more agitated, saying a string of words I couldn't make out. I turned off the water, and just then, I heard him, with a slight choke in his voice, question me, "Grace, are you going abroad?" Only then did I realize, I had come in too quickly just now, left my phone on the bed and forgot to take it into the bathroom. Marcus had my phone passcode, he must have seen something. Yes. Marcus then fell silent for a long time, followed by faint sobs reaching my ears. "He's crying? How can this be?" I shook my head. "Grace." Marcus cried like a banshee while calling my name, startling me so much I almost slipped. "Please don't leave me, okay? I was wrong, I'm sorry, Grace." They say affection that arrives too late is like discarded weeds. In the past, if a tough man like Marcus shed even a few tears for me, my heart would have been torn apart. But now, with him bawling his eyes out for me, I felt nothing at all, instead, a sense of triumph, of having finally gotten my revenge. The louder he cried outside the door, the more triumphant I felt. I opened the bathroom door, and the steam that billowed out veiled his face. Marcus immediately pulled me into a hug. "Grace, tell me, you're just feeling down lately, going abroad for a trip to clear your head, right? You'll be back soon, right?" "No. Grace, can we start over? I'll go anywhere you want, okay?" "No. Grace, what do I have to do for you to forgive me?" Marcus no longer had his usual hysteria. He released his embrace, and lowered his eyes at me. I think he already knew the answer, but I still wanted to say it myself, to bring this relationship to its final end. "Marcus, I don't want you anymore. Meet me at the courthouse tomorrow at a.m. Tonight, you'll have to make do with the guest bedroom. I'm moving out tomorrow night." I gently closed the master bedroom door, leaving it unlocked. No matter how many times Marcus I rush in to try and make amends, I wouldn't waver in my decision. The night was silent. Marcus must have been on the sofa. The phone's ringing tone carried clearly through the door to my ears. I then heard Marcus, like a madman, shouting into the phone, "Luna, it's all your fault. You vile woman, you made me lose Grace. Why did you come back to the country? Why did you disturb my life?" Although I couldn't hear the details of her response, I could hear passionate pleas for mercy from the other end of the phone. "Get lost. Get out of my sight. Don't you dare come looking for me again. I never want to see you in my life again, Luna. I'm telling you, in this lifetime, the only person I love is Grace. Even if Grace divorces me, I will never be with you. Just give up on that idea." After his voice broke, a sudden calm descended. Marcus finally said calmly into the phone, "Go die. The further away, the better." Then the living room fell silent, no sound remained. I picked up the phone from the bed. As my face unlocked it, the screen was still on the screenshot of Luna's social media post that I had sent to Sage. I wasn't surprised. I opened the security cameras to check. Marcus lay half naked on the cold floor, utterly motionless, like a lifeless fish with vacant eyes. After watching this final scene, I unlinked my phone number from the security cameras and deleted the monitoring app connected to my phone. Then, I thoroughly purged everything related to Marcus. "Grace, you're awake?" I opened the door and saw Marcus wearing an apron. He had prepared a huge table of dishes. Come wash your hands and have something to eat. Thanks, I'm not hungry. Grace, let this meal be my farewell to you, as a friend, okay? I don't mean anything else by it. At this point, refusing or accepting no longer held any meaning. Then eat quickly. It's almost o'clock, don't miss your appointment. Grace, are you really in such a hurry to separate from me? His words utterly baffled me. He was the one who had been entangled with Luna all along. Wasn't he the one who wanted to separate from me sooner? Marcus filled my bowl with food, but I only ate a few bites before putting down my chopsticks. As I was about to stand up, Marcus put down his chopsticks and bowl. He rose with me, matching my pace. My car is at the shop for maintenance. I'll take a taxi later, you can take your time. Grace, let's go together. No need. There's no point. After we're divorced, our paths will diverge anyway. I picked up my bag and went downstairs. Marcus sat down blankly, not saying a word. Whether he accepted it or not, this was the outcome. Love is decided by two people, separation only requires one person's decision. Coming out of the courthouse, I sent the divorce certificate to the family group chat. Henry and Margaret called me. I was about to explain something, but they told me not to say anything and just come home for dinner. I smiled as I hung up the phone. Marcus walked behind me, hands in his pockets. I didn't know how rushed he had been to come out. He was wearing a shirt today, but not wearing a tie. Even he, who was always so refined and gentlemanly, had left the top few buttons near his neck undone. His sleeves were casually rolled up to a random point. He must have cried. He, who never liked wearing sunglasses, wore his long-forgotten pair today. The word haggard couldn't even begin to describe his despair. When are you leaving? This weekend. I wonder if you'll be able to adapt to food abroad. That's no longer your concern, Mr. Marcus. Grace, I didn't go to Henry's birthday party because Luna stood on the company rooftop that day and threatened to kill herself. I had no choice then. If had really jumped for me, that would have been a human life. How could I bear that responsibility? Since you enjoy playing the hero so much, you can do it as often as you like now. Having said that, I turned and walked away. He suddenly shouted, "It!" and saw him take off his sunglasses, revealing his reddened eyes. He ran up to me, making no effort to hide the sorrow he was experiencing. Grace. This weekend, can I come see you off? No. I turned again. This time, I had no intention of ever looking back. Grace, Grace. She's gone, it's all over. Through my daze, I heard an increasing cacophony of voices. They gathered behind me like a cloud of fog. Look at that handsome young man, he's kneeling. If you ask me, that girl wouldn't divorce such a handsome young man for no reason. He must have done something wrong. Cheating? That's certainly unforgivable. That's just how men are, they want it all. After getting into the car, I received a call from Sage. Before I could say anything, her rapid-fire words came out like a string of firecrackers, non-stop. She said she had given Marcus a thorough dressing down last night. And she had told Marcus all about Luna's sordid affairs behind the scenes. Only you could pull that off. So, how do you like the welcome gift I sent you? I love it. The taxi sharply turned a corner. My life, too, was about to embark on a brand new direction. Thank you for listening to today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share your views, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.